Hello fellow gardeners, if you've ever stared at your plants, puzzled by their lackluster growth despite all the care you give them, the culprit might be hiding right under your feet. I'm talking about soil pH, a tiny number with a huge impact on how your plants access the nutrients they crave. On Soil Power, we dive deep into soil mastery, and today, I want to share the secrets of soil pH and how it unlocks the full potential of your garden. Understanding soil pH isn't just for scientists or lab technicians, it's a powerful tool for everyday gardeners who want explosive growth, vibrant leaves, and bountiful harvests. Stick with me, and by the end of this guide, you'll know exactly how to adjust your soil, maximize micronutrient uptake, and give your plants the life they deserve. Let's start with the basics. Soil pH is a measure of acidity or alkalinity in your soil. It's measured on a scale from 0 to 14, where 7 is neutral. Numbers below 7 indicate acidic soil, while numbers above 7 mean alkaline soil. Simple enough, right? But here's where it gets interesting. The pH of your soil directly affects how well plants can absorb micronutrients like iron, manganese, zinc, and copper. Think of soil as a pantry, and pH is the key to the shelves. Even if your pantry is stocked with all the nutrients your plants need, if the key, pH, doesn't fit, they simply can't reach them. This is why two gardens with identical fertilizers can produce wildly different results. We often focus on macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. After all, plants need them in large quantities, but, don't underestimate micronutrients. Iron deficiency can turn leaves yellow, a lack of zinc can stunt growth, and with too little manganese, your plants really struggle to produce chlorophyll. Here's the secret. Many micronutrients become locked in the soil when pH is off. For example, iron becomes unavailable in alkaline soil, that's pH above 7, no matter how much iron you add. Similarly, molybdenum becomes deficient in acidic soil, so pH below 6. Getting the pH right is often more effective and, honestly, cheaper than repeatedly adding supplements. Before you start tweaking your soil, you need to know where you stand. Testing soil pH doesn't have to be intimidating. At-home kits are widely available and super easy to use. You simply mix soil with the provided solution and compare the color change to the chart. While they're not lab precise, they really do give you a reliable estimate. For gardeners who want more accuracy, a digital soil tester is definitely worth the investment. You just insert the probe and it gives you an instant reading. Pretty handy, right? Just make sure to calibrate it according to the manufacturer's instructions so you get the best results. Now, if you want the most detailed analysis, including nutrient levels, you can send a sample to a local agricultural lab. This can be especially useful for larger gardens, or if you've struggled with persistent nutrient deficiencies. Here's a pro tip. Always test multiple spots in your garden and take an average. Soil pH can vary even within a small plot, so this extra step really helps you get a more accurate picture. Different plants thrive at different pH levels. Most vegetables actually prefer slightly acidic soil, somewhere between 6.0 and 6.8, because that's where micronutrients like iron, manganese, and zinc are most available. Blueberries, azaleas, and rhododendrons love more acidic soil, with a pH between 4.5 and 5.5. On the other hand, lavender and a lot of Mediterranean herbs prefer a slightly alkaline environment, with a pH between 7.0 and 8.0. Understanding the ideal range for your specific crops is crucial. A one-size-fits-all approach won't work, and adjusting your soil to match the plants you grow will pay off with healthier growth and higher yields. Now for the fun part, taking control. Adjusting pH is straightforward, but it requires patience and precision. Raising soil pH, making it less acidic. The most common approach is adding lime, or ground limestone. Dolomitic lime is popular because it also adds magnesium, which is another key nutrient. Apply in small doses, water it in, and retest after a few weeks. Remember, lime works slowly, so don't overdo it. Your soil will gradually shift to the target pH. Lowering soil pH, or making it more acidic, sulfur is the traditional choice. Elemental sulfur reacts with soil microbes to form sulfuric acid, gradually lowering pH. Organic options include peat moss, pine needles, and coffee grounds. Acidifying takes time, so be patient and test regularly. So, balance is key here. Extreme pH swings can actually stress your plants way more than just having mild deficiencies. It's important to make adjustments slowly and deliberately. Once your soil is in the right pH range, micronutrients become way more available. Let's take iron as an example. In acidic soil, iron is soluble and really easy for plants to absorb, but in alkaline soil it actually precipitates out and becomes unavailable, even if the soil contains plenty. By maintaining pH at the sweet spot, which is around 6 to 6.5 for most vegetables, your plants can naturally access the micronutrients they need. This principle applies across the board. Zinc, manganese, copper, boron, and molybdenum all have specific pH windows where they thrive. Correcting pH is often the simplest and, honestly, the most effective solution to chronic nutrient deficiencies. While pH is crucial, it's only one piece of the puzzle. Healthy, vibrant soil is alive with microbes, fungi, and organic matter. These allies help plants absorb nutrients more efficiently and improve resilience against pests and stress. Incorporating compost, leaf mold, and other organic amendments not only feeds your soil but also stabilizes pH fluctuations. Cover crops, such as clover or vetch, add nitrogen naturally and create root channels that improve soil structure. Micronutrients aren't just about chemistry. They're about creating a living ecosystem where your plants can thrive. Even with careful attention, pH issues can sneak up. Watch for these red flags, yellowing leaves, especially between the veins, which is often an iron or manganese deficiency, stunted growth despite regular fertilization, poor fruit set or small, underdeveloped fruits, and leaf curling or unusual spotting. If you notice these symptoms, don't panic. Start with a soil test. Often, correcting pH solves the problem more effectively than adding more fertilizer. I'll share a quick story from my own garden. A few years ago, my tomato plants were limp and yellow despite my best efforts. I tried every fertilizer under the sun, yet nothing worked. Finally, I tested the soil and discovered the pH was hovering at 7.5, way too alkaline for tomatoes. I gradually added finely ground limestone, retested weekly, and within 2 months, the plants exploded with lush growth and deep green leaves. The harvest was incredible. This experience taught me the power of pH. It's not just a number, it's the key to unlocking everything your soil has to offer. So, here are a few key tips for managing your soil pH over the long haul. First, test regularly, at least once a year, and ideally in early spring before you start planting. Next, adjust slowly. You want to avoid sudden drastic pH changes that could really shock your plants. Third, use organic matter, like compost, mulch, and cover crops to help stabilize your pH naturally. Also, tailor your amendments to the needs of your plants. Acid-loving crops and neutral-loving crops each need different treatments. And finally, observe your plants closely, because sometimes symptoms will reveal subtle pH issues even before a test can. Honestly, mastering soil pH is like giving your plants a VIP pass to all the nutrients they need. It's the foundation for explosive growth, super vibrant leaves, and those abundant harvests we all hope for. By understanding your soil, testing it, and making gradual adjustments, you create a garden where micronutrients are always available and your plants can really perform at their absolute best. Just remember, pH isn't a one-time fix, it's a living part of your soil ecosystem. If you keep nurturing it, your garden will reward you, season after season. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Power for more in-depth soil and gardening insights. And hey, share this article with your fellow gardeners so we can all grow smarter, healthier, and more powerful gardens together. Your plants, and your future harvest, will thank you.